What impact Harry Potter has had on my life is such a difficult question for me to answer, simply because Harry Potter has been there for such a long amount of my life that I really can't imagine what my life would be like without it. The first time I remember encountering Harry Potter was when my mom would read Harry Potter out loud to my brothers and me. I was like 5 years old and the books had just come out in the US. Before I even read the books on my own and really got into the story, I kind of knew what Harry Potter was already. Words like Voldemort, Harry, Ron, Hermione, Dumbledore, Hogwarts were all common words to me before I read the book. A lot of people have this story of how they weren't into reading and then they went to 4th grade class and their teacher read Harry Potter out loud to them and then they immediately went to the bookstore, bought the books, and became obsessed. I don't have a story like that because it seems like it was just always there. The fact that it's been so ingrained in my life from such an early age means that I don't have any idea what I would be like if there were no Harry Potter. And I really, really mean that in the deepest way. For me, I think there are 3 levels on which Harry Potter has impacted my life. If there were no Harry Potter, I wouldn't be wearing this necklace. I wouldn't have a Ravenclaw banner above my bed, and I wouldn't know all the rules to Quidditch. I would not know all of the words to all of The Prince's Tale by Lauren Fairweather. I wouldn't go to Wizard Rock concerts, and I wouldn't go to LeakyCon. I wouldn't have just donated $15 to the Equality for the Win campaign for the Harry Potter Alliance. And these are all sort of superficial things I love, but they're superficial things. I wouldn't have these physical objects. I wouldn't know these extraneous facts. But the second level is my friends. I'm sure everyone in all of these videos is saying that, but I wouldn't have a lot of the friends that I do if it weren't for Harry Potter. I started a Harry Potter club in high school called Dumbledore's Army. I did the same thing in college, and I wouldn't have met a lot of my Harry Potter and Nerdfighter friends in college if it hadn't been for this club that I started. I wouldn't have bonded with my high school friends as much if we hadn't created our Dumbledore's Army club. I wouldn't have gotten to share the LeakyCon experience with my friends who I brought to LeakyCon, and I wouldn't have been able to meet such amazing people at LeakyCon and become good friends with them. I wouldn't have had all those conversations with people at Wizard Rock shows and in line at movie premieres and midnight releases that just kind of show the fandom, where you just talk with them as if you're best friends with them because you feel like you are, and you are best friends with them when you're in such a Harry Potter related place. I wouldn't have gotten those relationships and experiences with other fans. The third level on which Harry Potter has impacted my life, I think, is the hardest to explain and the hardest to imagine without Harry Potter, because Harry Potter has taught me so many things. Harry Potter is a book series about courage and about love. It's really about love. If you watch Alex Carpenter's video on the impact of Harry Potter in his life, he talks about how Harry Potter, in the end, is about sending the message that love wins. And in such a cynical world we live in, that's really, really special. And if I hadn't read such influential books throughout my entire life about the message that love wins, I don't know if I would be a person who values love that much, if that makes sense. Harry Potter has also taught me imagination in a really, really deep way. I've always been enamored by the concept of the imagination because people kind of use the word dismissively or demeaningly a lot, but it's actually one of the most powerful things in the world, and I value it beyond almost anything else. J.K. Rowling talks about the power of imagination in her Harvard commencement speech, which is one of my favorite speeches in the entire world. She talks about it in a really specific way that I think is really important. She says that imagination allows you to empathize with other people because you're allowed to imagine what it's like to be in their place even if you aren't. And I'm really big on service and community and social justice. That's the kind of people I live with in college, and imagination is vital to this kind of service that I value so much, because if you can't empathize and imagine what it's like to be someone else, then you're never going to work to make anything better. J.K. Rowling also has a quote that I love so much that the Harry Potter Alliance has used for a campaign. She says that we don't need magic to make the world a better place. We have all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. But the power to imagine better, it means that we're not stuck in this world we live in. If we think everything sucks, we're not stuck here because we can imagine a different type of world, and imagination is the first step towards changing anything. And that's like really powerful to me. Imagination is also a key concept of Ignatian spirituality, if you know anything about that, but that's something really important to me too. It's sort of silly the way that I see the world through the lens of a Harry Potter fan, but I really, really do. And when I read about Ignatian spirituality and the imagination that's vital to it, I just think of the ways Harry Potter has taught me to imagine and the ways I can bring that to my spirituality, and that's something really important to me. And if I didn't learn all of these different things about imagination, about the world, seeing it better, empathizing with other people, and making the world a better place, I don't know how I would have learned those things if it weren't for Harry Potter. Maybe I would have learned all those things, maybe I would still have this mindset, but I don't think it would be the same. Of course, Harry Potter is also about courage, you know, the Gryffindor qualities that J.K. Rowling obviously admires and values so much, and I don't know how I would have learned those things. It's also about loyalty and about friendship, and just all of these things are things I value so much, and I pretty much directly attribute them to learning them from Harry Potter. Harry has just taught me all of these things, and I'm not sure if I would have learned the same things if there were no Harry Potter. I am really, really, really stuck when I try to imagine who I would be without Harry Potter. Everyone in these videos has been talking about how Harry Potter changed their life, and I don't think Harry Potter changed my life because I don't remember a life before Harry Potter. I really don't. And that's something so special, and I'm so glad I'm part of a generation where so many people can identify with Harry Potter as well. I think it's really changed our generation in a way that we kind of take for granted, and it's just really defined our generation in such a strong way, and I'm so proud that we've let a book about love wins be the defining story of our generation.